trot. All right, it's time for predictions for 2018 from the horse's ass. One part of the tax bill that has not been making a lot of news is the repatriation of foreign money. That's American companies that have been keeping their money in overseas because of the high tax rate. And I believe there is a one-time 15% tax forgiveness, maybe 10%, to bring that money back. Now, here we go. Here's my prediction. If, the key word in this is if, nothing else happens, by summer of 2018, we're going to see a huge boom in manufacturing and other things, for the simple reason is when they bring those estimated $2.5 trillion back in here, those corporations will spend it on expansion and stuff like that. So we're going to see a huge boom. Now, the downside is that by next fall, we're going to start seeing inflation. Because when $2 trillion of surplus cash hits our market, I mean, you know, it takes some time. You know, let's say companies start bringing that back in by spring. We'll start seeing projects by summer, and when wages go up, rent goes up, food prices go up, we will start seeing a huge amount of inflation by the end of 2018. That's if nothing else goes wrong. Now, if we have sunspots, major earthquakes, all that other crap go on, that could put a damper on any of it. But the only thing Trump's doing that I really disagree with is him giving the police a free hand and the justice system a free hand. Because, hey, face it, I just seen in Fox News some elderly couple got busted with 20 pounds of pot of Christmas gifts. I mean, really? Really? Are you going to ruin people's lives for weed? Everybody knows that nobody has ever died from weed, but we sure have died from the enforcement of weed laws. I mean, the weed laws are far more dangerous than the actual weed. I didn't tell you to quit trotting. Keep going. Anyway, that's one of my predictions. Now, the worst case scenario is that Little Rocket Man decides, or we have a preemptive strike on North Korea, and Little Rocket Man shoots a nuke off, maybe not to us, but what if they hit Japan? What if they hit even South Korea? You know, we get a lot of stuff from South Korea. Look at all those tractors. What is it, Kubota or Yamatsu? Whatever tractors coming from, and Massey Ferguson, all like that coming from Japan. You know, let's say he just EMPs Japan. That would put, you know, everything in turmoil, even if it doesn't hit us. You know, he could just do that. But, you know, worst case scenario is that the United States gets EMP'd or something like that. Of course, if we EMP North Korea, they ain't even going to notice that, because hardly anybody up there has electricity. And all of their facilities are underground. He spent the last 40 years, him and his daddy, putting everything underground. So, you know, we ain't going to do much to them. But that sure as heck would drag China into it. Oh, man, could you imagine that? I didn't tell you to turn around. Keep going. Anyhow, there's my predictions. Worst case scenario, we get into a war that expands, you know, North Korea. And, of course, Iran's in cahoots with them. So, let's say we have another world war. Of course, the Middle East, that's a powder keg. I will say in 2018, we need to keep an eye on what goes on in Jerusalem. But anyway, there's the predictions from the horse's ass for 2018.